Clock. The calendar says December 14th, 2012, a date now joining the other days that bloodshed and heartbreak that are now part of America's darkest days.
27 people, including 20 children, killed in Connecticut. But this day, unfortunately, joining a long list of infamous dates of other shooting massacres. April 20th, 1999, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold opened fire at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. They killed 12 classmates and a teacher before killing themselves in the school's library.
April 16th, 2007, the only mass shooting in U.S. history worse than today's shooting, at least in terms of the number of casualties. Sung Hyu Cho killed 32 people and then killed himself on the campus of Virginia Tech. 2 years later, a shooting at a military base in Texas. Major Nadal Hassan killing 13 soldiers and civilians at Fort Hood. And January 2011, shots ringing out at a congressional event in Arizona. Jared Lee Loughner killing 6 people, wounding 13 others, including Congresswoman Gabby Giffords.
And this year, 2 other terrible mass shootings. 12 people are killed when a gunman enters a movie theater in Colorado during opening night of the Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. 24-year-old James Holmes has been charged in the case. Finally, in August, an Army veteran killed 5 men and 1 woman before taking his own life at a Sikh temple in Wisconsin. And struggling to cope in the aftermath of the school massacre.
Coming up on Eyewitness News, one 8th grader tells us about the scary moments he spent in his classroom at a nearby school while the shooting unfolded.
And welcome back to Eyewitness News' extended coverage of the school massacre in Connecticut. I'm Sade Better-Noir.
And I'm Bill Ritter. A quiet and small New England type of town. That's what Newtown, Connecticut was up until 9:30 this morning, when a school, a place that's supposed to be a safe haven for kids, became a killing field. 28 people dead, including the gunman, and now an avalanche of pain and a mountain of questions. Marcus Solis at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Middletown with the latest. Marcus?
And Sade, throughout the day, we have heard the same 3 words over and over again. Beautiful young children, innocent victims who were gunned down at a school, at their elementary school, where they came to have fun and to learn and to be safe. But today, that all changed.
Evil visited this community today.
That evil in the form of a massacre with the most innocent of victims. Sandy Hook Elementary School, the scene of unimaginable carnage. 20 young children murdered by a lone gunman who entered the building with multiple weapons.
It was peaceful, everything was fine, everything was just normal as a regular Friday morning would be to everyone, and then it all just changed. It all changed.
It all began after 9:30 this morning. Police say 20-year-old Adam Lanza first shot and killed his mother at their home, then went to the school. As state and local police searched the building for the gunman, the school was put on lockdown.
The shooting appears to have stopped. It is silent at this time. The school is in lockdown.
Eventually, SWAT teams evacuated the students.
The policeman came in to get us. He told us to close our eyes and, like on the picture on the news, do this. And just go out. He told us to close our eyes because the man was probably dead right there. And he didn't want us to see it.
Well, the investigation continues in the hours ahead, the days ahead. We have seen just a short time ago a couple of vehicles from the medical examiner's office leave the scene, a scene that police describe as difficult and horrific. We're live in Newtown. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Horrific indeed, Marcus. Thank you. The folks in Newtown, where they say strangers are just friends you haven't yet met, tonight are understandably in a state of shock. A collective grief, and now thousands of them showing up at a church tonight to remember those who died and keep afloat everybody else. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Kozar was at their huge vigil tonight. Matt?
Bill, for a community grappling with just so much pain, they are leaning on each other for support. As you said, thousands packed this New England church tonight, which overflowed with love, tears, and healing. Under a peaceful night sky, thousands grapple with a violent reality. More than 24 are dead. Outside of St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church in Newtown, mourners crumble under the weight of pain and try to dispel the darkness with candles. Even the youngest mourn and pray with this parish of more than 3,500 families.
Felt a little disjointed being at home. You know, we've been following it on the news all day long and just felt like you needed to get out and be part of something.
Inside the standing room only church, a community coping with pain heals together during a vigil attended by Connecticut's governor.
In the coming days and in the coming weeks, I will pray that you all embrace one another, that you lift one another up, that you understand the difficulties that you collectively will undergo. Keep in your prayers the children who lost their lives today. Keep in your prayers the adults who lost their lives today.
God and angels in heaven are going to take care of them for eternity.
Outside the church, a sea of people who couldn't get into the service comfort one another, including some not from the area.
Why did you come out here today?
I heard it on the news in the morning while I was commuting.
There is a memorial fund being set up for the victims of today's shooting. To find out more, go to 7 Online. We've posted a link on our homepage. Reporting live in Newtown, Connecticut, Matt Kozar, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Matt, thank you. Well, dozens of schools were locked down today after news of this shooting. Meanwhile, we have learned that Sandy Hook Elementary School implemented new safety procedures at the start of the school year. Did those new guidelines fall short, or did they help to save lives? Diana Williams with that part of the story in Newtown. Diana?
Yeah, Sade, the impact of this shooting felt by so many people in this community, including students at other schools in this area. Full lockdowns were ordered at schools all around here starting at about 9:45 this morning. And students who were at those schools spent several frightening hours wondering exactly what was going on.
We thought it was a prison break since we have a prison here.
13-year-old Mitchell Savoca was in class when the lockdown was ordered. He spent more than 2.5 hours crouched beneath his desk.
We were told to shut the door, lock it, shut the blinds, we couldn't hide under our desks, and just pitch black.
14-year-old Bobby Haskins was at St. Rose of Lima Catholic School.
We all had to lock the doors in the church. The teachers went around locking all the doors while we sat silent in our pews in church. And then when we started praying decades of the rosary, just because we're a Catholic school and we wanted to, make sure everyone was safe.
Before today, almost anyone here would have said that Newtown was a safe community. But that didn't mean schools didn't have safety measures in place. The principal, Dawn Hochsprung at Sandy Hook Elementary, had actually implemented new procedures just this past fall. Those procedures included locked doors. Visitors had to ring a bell for entry. Parents had to sign in, and a photo ID was required. Principal Dawn Hochsprung was among the 27 killed today. A tweet she sent in October shows just how much safety meant to her. Safety first, she wrote, and below, a picture of her students during an emergency drill. Tonight, Nadia Rodriguez, a special ed teacher from Bridgeport, came to mourn. She left 30 white balloons at the entrance of the school and wondered just how safe old teachers and students really are.
Can love from a distance, and we're, definitely doing that by coming out here.
And tonight, the New York Times is reporting that the school's 56-year-old psychologist was also among the dead. Her name, Mary Sherlack. She was apparently preparing to retire. Reporting from Newtown, I'm Diana Williams, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Oh, so sad, Diana. Thank you. Well, earlier tonight, the president and CEO of Danbury Hospital spoke to ABC News about what it was like when they got the phone call from police telling them there had been a mass shooting.
We're prepared to deal with whatever was coming our way. And then in a matter of about 10 minutes or so, 3 shooting victims were brought to the hospital. And then it was probably 30 minutes later when we began to realize that no one else was coming. And that was the moment where the enormity of the tragedy really sunk in.
You said Dr. Murphy says the hospital is prepared to deal with providing mental health services to community members for months to come.
The FBI and other agencies tonight in another part of Connecticut trying to interview Peter Lanza. He's the father of the shooter, Adam Lanza. His ex-wife killed today by her son. Mr. Lanza lives 25 miles south of Newtown in Stamford. Eyewitness reporter Tim Fleischer is at the Lanza home along with a whole bunch of cops. Tim.
And Bill, this is the very unusual scene here on Bartina Lane. Notice behind me here, the police have this street blocked off at both ends, and no one, absolutely no one, is getting anywhere near the home of Peter Lanza. He is the father, as Bill pointed out, the father of the suspected gunman. Also now, the neighbors here find themselves being drawn into this tragedy.
My heart goes out to him.
Neighbors can only watch from a distance as investigators brought in additional equipment. The FBI's evidence response team will presumably search the home of Peter Lanza, the father of suspected gunman Adam Lanza, as they have done at other locations. Talking to the father would be part of a routine investigation. He is not suspected of anything at this time. This affluent neighborhood of large homes now part of a widening investigation in which every connection is being closely examined. Peter Lanza is a vice president at GE Capital. Other records reveal that he and Adam's mother were divorced in 2009. Neighbors and other area residents say they did not know Lanza or his son, but are upset by this tragedy.
It's hitting home. Like, Newtown was home enough, Stamford, and in my neighborhood is home enough. I just feel bad for everyone.
The evidence investigators arrived here just shortly after 9 o'clock. They are expected to be here several more hours. Reporting live in Stamford, Tim Fleischer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Tim, thank you. Not without justification, today's shooting reigniting the debate over gun control in this country.
Politicians reacting. Our political reporter Dave Evans is here with that part of the story. Dave?
Well, Sade, as we've been hearing, the shooting took place this morning at about 9:30, and by early this afternoon, politicians across the country were clamoring for more gun control. This is how it happens in the aftermath of virtually every major shooting, but little in the way of gun control actually does happen in Washington. This summer in Aurora, Colorado, at a midnight screening of the latest Batman movie, a gunman killed 12 and injured 58. In January of 2011, Congresswoman Gabby Gifford and 18 others were shot in a supermarket in Tucson, Arizona. 6 people died there. Many Americans now ask, how many more killings must happen
when you start to hear this, the first thing in the morning, and as the numbers kept coming in, to be very honest with you, I broke down and cried most of the time because I could see it was going to be another mass shooting.
Congresswoman Carolyn McCarthy became an outspoken advocate to ban assault weapons after her husband was murdered and her son critically injured in the Long Island Railroad shooting back in 1993. She has been bitterly disappointed the president hasn't done more on this issue.
We need to be working together. We got to change the way we talk to each other and come up with solutions. Those are the things we need to do, but we need the president to do it. Earlier today, Mayor Bloomberg said, what we have not seen is leadership, not from the White House and not from Congress. This is a national tragedy. Later, he tweeted, we heard after Columbine that it was too soon to talk about gun laws. We heard it after Virginia Tech, Tucson, and Aurora. Now we are hearing it again.
As a country, we have been through this too many times. Whether it's an elementary school in Newton or a shopping mall in Oregon, and we're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics.
Because of gridlock in Washington and because of the pro-gun lobby, little gets accomplished on gun control. So many decry what's happening, but not much changes.
I sat down with my staff yesterday to talk about how we were going to bring this to an issue before another mass shooting happened.
Congresswoman McCarthy earlier today said she would embarrass Obama on gun control if he doesn't take decisive action soon. Tonight, she actually told us that she does appreciate what the president said today. Still, in the House, as conservative as it is, it's doubtful much will change regardless of what Obama does or doesn't do. Sade and Bill?